Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Jewelry Canada. Today we're going to be doing a video on some teardrop beaded earrings, and we're going to start that in just a moment. Hi everyone, Monique here, Little Gems Jewelry Canada. Today we're going to be making some seed bead earrings. You are going to need some jump rings. You're going to need your 10-aught seed beads and some 8-aught seed beads. You're going to need tools. You're going to need ear wires. You're going to need some line. Today we are using Tough Line. It's a 10-pound weight line. And yeah, so let's get started. We're going to start by getting our jump rings ready, okay? So I'm using this size. It doesn't really matter what size. I'm just trying to use up some of these jump rings that I never use. So, okay, so we're going to start by making sure our jump rings are closed. So you see how that's not properly closed? So we're just going to close it up. There we go. And of course, you're going to make 2 earrings, so you need a jump ring for each earring. Okay. Same thing. Fiddle with it until you get it so it's closed. Okay. If you have any concerns about anything coming out of that little closed area, put a dot of clear nail polish or some nail glue, something like that, and that'll keep that part sealed. Next, we're going to go to our line. Now, I don't measure it by feet per se. I take 1 arm length. Okay, so 1 arm length, and then we cut that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put our 2 ends of our line together. Okay, and then we're going to go over here, get our loop, take one of those jump rings. We're going to feed our loop through our jump ring, and then we're going to grab the ends and pull them through our loop. So let's get that jump ring. So we're pulling our ends through our loop. Okay, so I want to make sure that my opening is at the top, and there is the bottom. Okay, now back at the other side with our 2 ends. We are going to grab our beading needle and we're going to feed both of those ends through the eye of the needle. Okay, now I'm using 10-pound weight, so this is thicker. So it's going to be a challenge to get it through. Oh my goodness, mark the calendar. I got them both through first try. That never happens. So I'm pulling them. I'm going to go back to the loop, to the split ring. I'm going to follow my line to the other side. Now you see how I have this bump? I'm just going to pull these so that that bump goes away, okay? Okay, because we don't want any bubbles. So now we get to the good part. We get to decide our design. So for this design, I'm going to do 5 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. I'm going to put one of our bigger beads. Okay, so that's one section. I'm going to do that until I've got 30 beads ending off with the 10-aught seed beads. Okay, so 5 again. So 30 small seed beads, okay? So we got 5, 10, wrong color. 5, 10, 15, and then one of the big ones. So do that until you have 30, but don't put the big bead at the end. So 5, 10, 15 little ones, do 30. Meet me back. Okay, so I've got my 30 small seed beads and I did not put a big one at the top. So now I'm going to go through my jump ring and then I'm going to go through those 5 beads. Okay. There we go. And I'm coming out just before the big bead. Okay. And then when we pull that tight, it'll cinch everything up. Okay. So there we go. Now we're going to start our knots. Okay. So what we're doing, holding our work like this, we're going to go behind our work. I'm not going in any beads or anything. I'm just going behind my work. And see, I made a loop. I want to go through my loop once. I want to go through my loop twice. Now I'm going to guide the knot. You see how I have the threads just before that big bead? That's where I want my knot to end up. So I'm going to start pulling my knot. See how I have it guiding there? And then I'm going to pull tight. And then I'll use my nail to cinch it up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through that big bead and the 5 little beads to the next bead, the next big bead. And I'm going to pull it tight. Now you're going to feel a little pop. You know what that pop is? That's your knot going into that big bead. And that's exactly where you want it. Okay, so now we're going to do another knot because you always do at least 2 knots. So I'm going to go behind my work. Okay, I'm going to make my loops and go through the loops once. Oops, they twisted on me. Okay, once. I'm going to go through, dang it, through my loops twice. Okay, and now I'm going to guide that knot just like I did last time. Guide it, guide it, guide it, guide it. Pull tight. Okay, going back to my needle. I'm going to go through that big bead now and through all the little beads. And when you pull, you're going to feel a pop. And that's your knot going into that bead. Now we're just going to continue around through all the beads. Okay. Continue around all those beads. Okay, until you go out that top bead. Okay. Now, in order to keep these 2 close together, so we're coming out, sorry, I'm blurry. Coming out this bead, we're going to go into this one just until that first big bead. Okay. There we go. And this is where using 10 pound weight thread. Oh. Okay, you should never sew with pliers, but sometimes you gotta. This 10-pound weight thread line will get you because, oops, I missed some beads. Okay, well, you know, this is a good experience. You see, I missed some beads here. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to take my, going to come back out and do it right. And you might have to take your needle off the thread because you saw how tough it was to get it in there, right? Yeah, so I'm going to have to take it right off my needle and then rethread my needle. But it's a good experience. Even pros make mistakes, and I'm not even a pro, but you know. So I'm going to have to rethread and then go through those again, okay? So I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. I rethreaded. I'm coming out the top there, and like I said, we're going to go in to these beads, just to that big bead. Make sure you go through all the beads. Dear Lord. There we go. Once again, shouldn't sew with pliers. And we're going to pull that so that our beads stay together. See? Okay, and then we're going to go through the big bead. If you can. There's a knot in there, so it may not want to, okay? And mine doesn't want to. So that's okay. So we pull that tight, and now we're just going to snip it. And because we have it near one of the big beads, we're just going to give it a little tug, and it's going to go invisible. So see, you can't see our knots either side. Can't see our knots. And it's going to stay together at the top. Make it a little teardrop. So there you go, guys. Oh, hold on. No, you got to put on the ear wire. Okay. So ear wires. I'll be right back. I have to grab them. Okay, let's talk about ear wires. This is my ear wire. This is my earring. Now notice they're both going the same way. So I either can attach it with another jump ring, which I don't want to do, or you can very easily but gently turn it. And you can only turn it a little bit at a time, because if you turn it all at once, it will snap. So you're just grasping it and you're turning it a little bit, giving it a break. A little bit, give it a break. Lift it a little bit, give it a break. Little bit, give it a break. So you're going to do that until it is the same way. See? Not quite. I need a little more. But you got to be careful because you don't want to snap it. There we go. Okay, so now you're going to open the edge like so, always to the side, and you're going to attach your earring. You're going to close it back up. And there you go, guys. There is your completed earring. A little teardrop earring. Isn't it cute? Okay, so now, guess what? You got to make the other one. But there you go. So don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. And in the description, you'll find a link to my Etsy store, a link to some earring cards that I sell, as well as a link to my Facebook crafting group so you can show me all your beautiful creations. Thanks so much for watching. Bye now.